Alright guys, again, this is not a drill, this is very serious. 14 hours ago, I've made a video talking about the new Paul McCartney album called The Boys of Dungeon Lane. And now it's been announced. The new single has already come out. I've listened to it twice. And I just want to share this moment with you guys. It's a super exciting moment. Thank you, Paul, for everything, of course. Please let me know down here what you think about the album, the artwork, the new song, Days We Left Behind. Please let me know down here what you think. Let's talk about the album first, very quickly, shall we? Well, the album is called The Boys of Dungeon Lane. This is the artwork, so it's that simple street sign, just like the ones in Liverpool. And it has the classic Paul McCartney autograph on the bottom right corner there. I'm not sure if I like this cover too much, I gotta be honest. I don't think McCartney 3 has a strong cover either. Anyway, what I like is the label. The label looks like what has been done for I forgot what it's called, I'm sorry. One Hand Clapping, right? I believe One Hand Clapping has the same style, which is Paul's handwriting. This is also the style of the lyric video for the new song, Days We Left Behind. I think it's a pretty cool style. Alright, so let's hear about The Boys of Dungeon Lane. This is the description of the album on the shop page, right? So The Boys of Dungeon Lane is not only the 18th solo album to be released by Paul McCartney, it is a collection of rare and revealing glimpses into memories never before shared, along with some newly inspired love songs from one of the most culturally significant figures of our time. Across the album, Paul turns the lens inward, revisiting the formative years that shaped not only his life, but the very foundations of modern popular culture. In a career defined by timeless storytelling and unforgettable characters, Paul now tells the most personal story of his own. The most personal story of all, his own. That's extremely strong. That's something I wanted to do a wish list, and I hope I did, because I would be right. This is something I wanted. I think Paul's most introspective work maybe ever is Chaos and Creation in the Backyard, even though it's a poppy album too sometimes. It's a bit indie, but it also contains lyrics that are deeper than what most Paul McCartney albums have to offer in that meaning. So I really wanted Paul to do something like that. Coming back to his infancy at 83, it makes sense. It's extremely bittersweet. That's a word I'm gonna use to describe the song too. Let's continue, alright? The album is his most introspective album. Alright, I didn't know this was coming, I gotta be honest. The album is his most introspective album to date, taking the listener back to where it all began. These extraordinary new songs find Paul writing with rare openness about his childhood in post-war Liverpool, the resilience of his parents, and early adventures shared with George Harrison and John Lennon long before the world had ever heard of Beatlemania. Like his career, The Boys of Dungeon Lane is musically eclectic and sees... Alright, before that actually, let's take a step. I want to discuss this too. So, if this is something we can generalize for the entire record, it could mean that this new album, which is out on May 29th, I'm not sure if I mentioned that, this new album could be the first one the first Paul McCartney album forever, really, to actually be centered around a central theme. This hasn't happened before. This is exciting in itself. I know that Egypt Station kind of had that idea of, the stations, and the entire marketing campaign had been around that. But in reality, it's just a bunch of songs, really. It doesn't have a real conceptual idea to it. So this can be Paul McCartney's first conceptual album. Really, in my book, this could be it. Alright, Musically wise, now what they mention is, like his career, the Boys of Dungeon Lane is musically eclectic and sees Paul across an array of instruments and styles, showcasing his broad musicality. There's Wing-style rock, Beatles-style harmonies, McCartney-style grooves, understated intimacy, melody-driven storytelling, character songs, the common thread being Paul. So again, this is exciting. It means that the album isn't necessarily just acoustic based like this song was. To me, that sounds great. It includes black vinyl LP, etc., a lyric booklet too. Alright, so the track list contains songs we have not heard of before. We've heard of one song before. Side A has As You Lie There, Lost Horizon, Days We've Left Behind, the single. I'm going to comment on that pretty soon. Ripples in a Pond, Mountaintop, Down South, We Too. Side B, Come Inside, Never Know, Home to Us, Life Can Be Hard, First Star of the Night, Salesman Saint, and Mama Gets By. That's the final track of the album. So it's 14 tracks. I think that's fine. I want to mention some things. Number one, something that may have caught your ear if you're a huge McCartney fan, Life Can Be Hard. This is a song that Paul played on the McCartney 321 documentary in 2021, I believe that was released, maybe 2022. It's a documentary he did with Rick Rubin, and I totally recommend you taking a listen. It's a great documentary. It's 3 episodes, and you should give it a watch. It's definitely recommended. And he played that song on piano. It sounds pretty good. I loved it. So I'm glad this will be the 4th song on the B side. It looks like it can be a highlight of the record. I want to comment on the end of side A because we have 3 songs: Mountaintop, and then Down South, and then of course number 7, the last song of side A, called We Too. We Too, like the two of us, right? 2 of us, we two. Come on. So Down South is probably gonna be, if he's gonna follow this thread of autobiographical songs, it will definitely be about going to London, maybe recording as the early Beatles, probably. It could mean going to Hamburg, I'm not sure. This is speculation. There's plenty of stuff here, like First Star of the Night and Mountaintop, that can be related to those hitchhiking trips that Paul did initially with George and then with John. So maybe we will see Paul talking about that. And of course, last but not least, we have We Too on side A. Again, We Too sounds like 2 of us. Is this a song for John again? I'm not sure. We have to wait, but it's exciting. The album closes with Mama Gets By. It's the Mama spelling is like Mama Miss America, so that was the first thing that came to mind. And it's just a title that really caught my attention. I want to check that out. What do you think about the album? These are my initial thoughts. He has released a teaser trailer that doesn't say much. It's a couple guys on a cafeteria, like an old school cafeteria, and again with the single the single Days We've Left Behind playing in the background. So let's talk about the single now, right? Days We Left Behind is its name. What do I think of it? Well, I gotta be honest, it is a pretty nice song. It is definitely a song that feels like a grower. So it's acoustic, it's Paul on vocals and guitar and piano. I don't know if there's anything more to it. Maybe there's bass in it. I didn't pay that close of attention at first, but I can tell that his voice sounds great. He has probably had done some post-processing on his voice. It doesn't sound harsh, it sounds good. I want to really listen to it more so I can understand exactly what's going on in the song. But all in all, I think it's great. I think it's melancholic, it's kind of low beat. It doesn't really outstay its welcome either. It's a very short song. I believe it's like 2 minutes long, isn't it? At least it felt like that. Let's see here if I can get that info pretty quick. Yeah, Days We Left Behind. It's a 3-minute song. But this is interesting actually. I've just noticed something. Maybe this isn't the album cover. I've just noticed that. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna remake the video. I'm sorry. I gotta work. But the image for the single is this one, The Boys of Dungeon Lane. And it also appears as the album cover, as I showed you guys. But what seems weird to me is that the single cover wouldn't be the album cover. That just doesn't make sense, does it? So maybe this isn't the album cover. Maybe we'll get an album cover soon. And the website states that kindly know that images are for reference only and the actual product may vary. So I'm not sure. Maybe this isn't the cover art. I'm not sure. Anyway, so it's an introspective song. Again, Paul's vocals sound nice. It didn't hit me as hard on a first listen as something like In Liverpool did. And yesterday I was discussing that The Boys of Dungeon Lane is a verse from the In Liverpool song that he hasn't recorded in the studio. He's played it live once, and he's played it for a documentary on Liverpool Institute. So I was expecting In Liverpool to be here, but apparently he's just taken that single verse and put it on this new song, Days We've Left Behind, right? This is extremely interesting because In Liverpool isn't here, so he has just reused the verse, right? And comparing In Liverpool to Days We Left Behind, I think I like Days We Left Behind more, just because I didn't like the verses of In Liverpool too much. That's what I told you guys yesterday. But I love the chorus. I love the chorus. I think that chorus has more punch, and it gained my attention more quickly than the chorus of Days We Left Behind. But anyway, that's just my quick takeaway here. I quite like the song. I've seen people talking about it online. You know, it's Paul's an old man now. He's looking back at his life. I got kind of a Johnny Cash Hurt vibe from it, just being, you know, with all the context. And I am really looking forward to this record. Again, if this is Paul McCartney's real first conceptual album, this could be huge. This could be great. I love you, Paul. Thank you so much. I can't wait for the 29th of May. Let's go. What do you think of it? Let me know down here, alright? Cheers.